Hello?
Hello, Heather. Do you like scary movies?
Hun, I know this is you.
No, it's not.
Hun, you do know we're supposed to be in the other room doing a review. Right now.
No.
Chase, what are you doing?
Fine.
All right, we just got back from watching Scream 2022. We are big fans of the franchise and extremely fond of Wes Craven.
Rest in peace, Wes Craven. I said it right.
Wes in peace.
West in peace.
Wes.
Lamont.
We missed you. We missed you directing on this one.
We are huge fans of all the Scream franchise. How old? 1996?
Goodness gracious, it goes back, but I don't know. All we know is, it's been a while. I just want to start off with the OGs, like Dewey, David Arquette, and Sidney Prescott, Neve Campbell, and Gail Weathers.
Courtney Cox.
Were just, when they walked on the screen, the nostalgia, all three of them coming back and reprising their roles, kudos to them.
Okay, and awesome. I will say this, it's a reboot.
No, it's a requel.
Requel. Okay, so it's a requel.
A reboot.
And I'm going to start off with a positive note. I think that
wasn't that on the acting, but
the requel and the way that the three of them came on screen, I wanted more of. I mean, I thought they were great. They killed it. When they came on screen, it was really well done.
And I was going to say too, you are left wanting, it wasn't quite like Ghostbusters where you wanted more of all the old Ghostbusters on screen with more time, because their shooting schedules were probably different, and they probably had to get them in and out, or they weren't part of the full script because it was a new generation. They were definitely in the film.
Yes, they were in the movie. They were a big part of the film.
You just wanted more of Neve and Gail throughout the whole movie, but the script also played a part in introducing a new generation of with a new generation of actors that kind of were picking up the mantle and filling in the pieces of all the other kind of the same kind of characters and that fit the format of the first movie. We want to try not to give away too many spoilers, so we're going to try and choose our words wisely as we tell you this. It felt at times, and Heather called it right away. I did not know this. I am a big fan of, let me see, the directors are Matt Bettinelli and Tyler Gillett, if I'm saying their names correctly. But they kind of started, I think, with VHS, which everybody loves the VHS franchises. They did a great job in that. They've gone on to do, I believe, something else together. I'm not sure if they did. Yeah, Ready or Not.
Ready or Not. I loved it. Ready or Not was great.
They did a great job on that.
It was a great film.
So I feel like these two work well together. There were times, though, when biting off so much of a franchise as Scream, that she called it. Go ahead, I'll let you take this.
Well, I almost, halfway through the movie, we did not research who made the movie. We just assumed, and I almost looked at Jason and said, there were two directors in this film. So I will, and I had no idea.
You did before the end of the movie. You kind of researched. You leaned over and she was waiting for the directors, and she saw two directors. And that's one of her complaints, was she felt like it was done by two different directors, two different movies at times.
Yes.
They were recapturing the first movie, so there was a lot of feel of that they were trying to get that feel of the first movie by giving an homage or saying like what horror movies were relevant at the time. Like back then for the first movie, they talked a lot about Halloween. They talked about Jamie Lee Curtis and her being a scream queen, and the innuendos in this and the referrals of horror movies in this
didn't connect.
It seemed a little too much on the head and beating us with it as a Scream fan. So and not at all. Don't get me wrong. That could be a good or a bad thing. Some people may love that. I didn't personally love that. I felt like they were taking what they did in part 1, and instead of making it better, they just gave it more of the same. And that was just me, you know. But they still, you know, like I said, that's if it floats your boat, then you're gonna love it. If you like that kind of thing, expect more of it, I should say. The actors did an amazing job. This new group of actors, I thought, did a great job. The girl that I recognized from the Spider-Man video games, she was in Spider-Man Miles Morales. To me, this is just me personally, I felt like she stole the show when she was on screen. Maybe not, maybe, I don't know if you felt that way. Her name was Jasmine Savoy Brown.
Yeah, and
I felt like every time she was on screen, her quirkiness, her style, and everything, I felt like she really captured you, and you were waiting to see what her next move was. She's very comfortable on screen. A lot of them showed very confident acting skills that I'd say that made you feel comfortable. It was nice seeing like we said that the old people came back, but Marley Shelton came back as Deputy Judy. She was in it too, and she has a son in the movie. I don't want to give too much away. I'm trying to keep it positive, people. Trying to keep it positive.
He's trying to keep it positive. I guess I shouldn't say much then, if you're trying to keep it positive.
No, be honest. This is what we're here for. We're here for a review. You go ahead.
I think that I appreciate the film for what it was, but I also can tell you it was 2 directors, and it almost felt like the directors didn't get along much during the making of the movie. I'm not going to lie.
It felt that way, but you don't know.
I don't know. There was a lot of it wasn't confusing. There was a lot of good points, but at the same time,
there were some good kills.
Kills were great.
I'll say it like this. A lot of the reviews out there just
I don't know if they're real.
They talk about how innovative it is and how it's the most brutal.
You know
and
what?
It is brutal, but it's not like reinventing the wheel of brutality, and it wasn't like I was expecting some of the kills to be like.
Here's what I will say. It was a high budget film that we love films where we know what it takes to make a film. We know that with the hard blood, sweat, and tears that you have to, so we will never be too hard on a film because we've been there, we've done that, we know what it takes. So A for effort.
A for effort.
A for effort.
Absolutely.
I will say that.
You know, the directors are up against Wes Craven. They're working to make Wes Craven proud. They're trying to do something that Wes did. So I guess you would feel at times you felt as though Wes had a hand in this, and that's a good thing, and that was cool. And then, like I said, though, as a fan of the original Scream, it's tough because when you're a fan of the original Scream and you have the love for the original, you can't, it's so hard to top it. And sometimes unless you top something that's the original, not even necessarily why try, or unless you found a way that it's like, oh my gosh, we found a way to make this incredible, add to it.
And I think there were times they did.
Yeah.
There were times they did.
And it's really hard to do comedy horror these days that walk that fine line of that's my only complaint was when I found out who the killer was, it didn't make sense in certain scenes. Am I right about that?
You are
and
right.
I'm walking the fine
I will
line
say
of just being nice.
We have cheered during this review twice. So, what would you rate it?
I would rate it. Scream fans will enjoy it. 6 out of 10.
I'd say 6.5.
We're gonna agree. 6.5.
6.5. 3 cheers.
Cheers.